What's up, YouTube? Hey, just posting a video about my experience so far in the saltwater aquarium hobby that I'm getting into. This is my first tank ever saltwater. I've had a few freshwater tanks back in the States, but decided to get into the saltwater hobby and had a good friend show me that it's really not as hard as I always thought it would be. So this is a 60-ish gallon aquarium. It's actually I'm in Okinawa, Japan, so everything's in metric. So I'm not exactly sure what the liters is on this tank, but I know it's like 65 gallons. Yeah, so far so good. I've had my, it's been running for about almost 7 months now. Haven't had any major issues. I've had a few fish give up on me, but so far I've had the current livestock in here for a couple months and everybody's doing really good. I've kind of pieced my tank together just by watching YouTube videos. Shout out to the king of DIY and RotterTube especially, because if it weren't for the king of DIY, I wouldn't have known how to build my, I think he calls it like the Herbie overflow, but it's all built out of metric PVC, 25 millimeter full siphon overflow with a 50 millimeter PVC weir that I put in the tank and silicone to the bottom of the tank and drilled some holes in the top, obviously. But yeah, that's all King of DIY is doing. I just put it together, and then so it obviously comes down into my 30-gallon sump, which I have a ball valve on it. I couldn't find a gate valve that I really wanted over here, so I have a ball valve. I have a mark on it to where if I'm doing anything, water change or anything, I have to shut it off, and I just turn it back to that and then do fine tunes from there. But it comes down into I can't remember what RotterTube calls it. It might be a RotterTube actually, but it's kind of a variation of what he builds and sells, and so it's just PVC. My overflow comes down, drains through the bottom, but I have some sponge in there to filter out any big particulates. And then I have a power head in there because I noticed when I put that on there that the water was getting kind of stagnant on the top and I wanted to just kind of keep the water flowing real nice. But that obviously flows into my Reef Octopus Classic 110S skimmer, which I just cleaned it last night, and every time I clean this thing, it seems like I have a little trouble retuning it. That's why the skim made in there looks kind of clear and like a wet skim, but I think I have it right now to where it's tuned pretty good for my liking. I added this Aquatop MR20 media reactor. I had carbon in it. I was running carbon in it for a while, and then I bought some bulk resupply GFO and swapped that out last night. It's tumbling, can't really tell. Might be tumbling a little bit too much, but I might turn that down a little bit actually. And then classic refugium, a bunch of live rock, some coral rubble. I didn't put any miracle mud in there because I'm kind of limited to what my fish stores have over here, and they all speak Japanese and everything's in Japanese, so sometimes it's kind of hard to decipher what you want to do, and I didn't feel like waiting and ordering some miracle mud and doing all that. So kind of the story of my tank. I've rushed almost everything. So all my live rock in my tank actually came from the East China Sea. So I had some pests, obviously, that a lot of reefers don't want. I had a couple mantis shrimp I had to get out of there. Some bubble algae at first. Got that out really quick. That wasn't bad. And, some other algae, but so far I got a little bit of hair algae, I think is what that is right now, but not too bad at all, actually. All my snails and my sailfin and everything, they take care of my algae problem pretty quickly, actually. A couple anemones. That guy up there, he was down here. He moved up to my power head, and then luckily I got my power head turned off quick enough and let him do his thing, and he moved over to that corner. So he's been there for about a week, so kind of keep my eye on him. And then this little anemone, some GSP, some zinnias, a couple clowns, mushrooms, a couple cleaner shrimp. I don't know where they went, but coral banded shrimp back there. Really, really pretty red starfish. And then what I really like is I like the zoanthids. I really like the colors and stuff. You won't be able to really see it here maybe, but I'm starting a pretty massive zoanthid garden. I'm really into those. So, and then a couple puffers, blue spotted puffer, and then where's my other? He's back in the back. He hides. They don't like each other, so and I can't catch the blue spot to get him out of there, so so they're stuck for now. I have a bunch of like lawnmower gobies or whatever they are called, blennies, gobies, I don't know. They actually came out of the ocean, so they're wild caught. I'll return them when I PCS, but I really like that puffer and that wrasse. But a couple snails. But yeah, comment if you have any suggestions, any help so far. Knock on wood, I haven't had any major crashes. Hopefully I don't. But yeah, this is my journey into my saltwater experience. Thanks for coming.